If you're over 60, your breakfast can quietly decide how tired, foggy, or hungry you feel all day. I'm Daniel Brooks, a senior nutrition specialist here on Senior Food 365.
And I'm Rachel Turner, also a senior nutrition specialist. If you're watching this and thinking, I just eat whatever is quick in the morning, stay with us. We're going to talk through the worst breakfast habits in calm, simple language and show you what to eat instead.
Breakfast rules can feel confusing. You hear avoid sugar, eat more fiber, protein, but not too much, and it all blends together. Today, we'll count down 7 of the worst breakfast foods and habits for people over 60, and for each one, we'll give you easy swaps. No guilt, no perfection, just better choices that may support your energy, your blood sugar, and your heart.
So if you often have a sweet cereal, a quick pastry, or just coffee and nothing else, this is for you. As we go through each point, think about your own plate in the morning. You don't have to change everything at once. Even 1 or 2 swaps can make your mornings much easier on your body.
7. Sugary breakfast cereals. Let's start with a big one we see all the time. Sugary breakfast cereals. The colorful boxes, the heart-healthy labels, the cartoon characters. They look fun and even harmless. But many of these cereals are mostly sugar and refined flour. That means they hit your bloodstream fast, spike your blood sugar, and then leave you hungry again very quickly.
In simple words, you get a rush and then a crash. If you're over 60 and maybe dealing with prediabetes, diabetes, or just low energy, that roller coaster can make your morning feel shaky, sleepy, and cranky. A lot of seniors tell us, I eat cereal because it's quick. And we get that. But quick doesn't have to mean sugary.
Exactly. We're not saying you must give up cereal forever, but choose better versions. Look for cereals with more fiber and very little sugar. A simple rule is at least 4 to 5 grams of fiber per serving and less than 6 to 7 grams of sugar. And don't rely only on the front of the box. Turn it around and read the nutrition label.
And make it a grown-up cereal bowl. Instead of a big bowl filled to the top, use a smaller bowl. Add a spoon of plain Greek yogurt for protein, some chia or ground flaxseed for fiber, and a handful of berries. If you're at home thinking, that sounds complicated, try one step at a time. Maybe this week you just switch from a sugary kids cereal to plain oats. That alone may help your morning blood sugar and hunger. 6. White toast, bagels, and sweet spreads. The next sneaky problem is the all-white breakfast. White toast, white bagels, and lots of sweet spreads like jam or jelly. It looks simple and comforting, but it's another blood sugar bomb. White bread and bagels are made from refined flour, which works in your body a lot like sugar.
Think about it like this. Your body breaks down that soft white bread very fast. So even if you're not eating spoonfuls of sugar, your blood sugar can still jump. Then, when you add jelly, honey, or a thick layer of sweet spread, you're stacking sugar on top of sugar. For seniors, that may mean more fatigue, more cravings, and over time, more strain on the heart and blood vessels.
I had a patient, Mary in her early 70s, who told me her light breakfast was a bagel with jam and coffee. She thought it was better than a heavy cooked breakfast, but her blood sugar would spike and crash by mid-morning. When we slowly changed her routine, half a whole grain bagel, a thin spread of peanut butter, and some sliced apple on the side, her morning energy got more steady.
So what can you do? First, whenever you can, swap white bread or bagels for whole grain versions. Look for the word whole as the first ingredient. Second, change the topping. Instead of a thick layer of jam, try a thin smear plus a little nut butter, or mashed avocado with a pinch of salt. If you remember only one thing here, remember this. Keep the grains whole and the topping less sugary. 5. Coffee only breakfast. Now this one will sound familiar to a lot of people watching, the coffee only breakfast. You wake up, you're not very hungry, you grab a mug of coffee, maybe with cream and sugar, and that's it until late morning or even lunchtime.
In simple words, that means your body is trying to run on caffeine and very little fuel. At 20, you might get away with it. After 60, that habit may make you shaky, lightheaded, or more likely to overeat later. If you add sugar syrups, flavored creamers, or whipped toppings, your just coffee is actually a dessert with no real protein or fiber to hold you.
There's also a blood pressure and heart piece here. Strong coffee on an empty stomach can raise your heart rate and may upset your stomach. If you already have reflux, ulcers, or sensitive digestion, you might notice burning, nausea, or jitters. Research in older adults suggests that balanced meals with some protein in the morning are linked to better strength and muscle.
So what does a more balanced morning look like if you love your coffee? You don't have to give it up. Just don't let it stand alone. Even a small hard-boiled egg, a slice of cheese, or a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt can give your body something to work with. If you really cannot face solid food, try a very small protein smoothie with no added sugar and sip your coffee with that.
If you're sitting at home thinking, but I've always just had coffee, ask yourself how your mornings feel. Are you dizzy, weak, or starving by 11 a.m.? If yes, your body is giving you a message. A little protein with your coffee may calm your nerves and make the rest of your day smoother.
4. Processed meats: bacon, sausage, and breakfast ham. Next, let's talk about something many seniors grew up with: bacon, sausage links, and breakfast ham. These meats are tasty and traditional, but they are also very salty and often high in saturated fat. For someone over 60, especially with blood pressure or heart issues, that can be a problem.
Right. A lot of processed meats also contain preservatives like nitrates. We won't go into the chemistry today, but studies in adults show that eating a lot of processed meat is linked with higher risk for heart disease and some cancers. That doesn't mean one slice of bacon here and there is poison. It does mean it should be an occasional treat, not your daily base.
Think of Mr. Johnson, one of my patients in his late 60s. He joked that bacon is its own food group. He had it almost every morning, plus toast. His blood pressure was hard to control, and he felt heavy and sluggish after breakfast. When we shifted him to turkey sausage a couple of times a week, and on other days, eggs with vegetables and a small serving of fruit, his numbers and energy improved over a few months.
If you love that savory, salty taste, there are ways to keep the feeling without so much risk. Try.
In plain language, build your breakfast around real proteins: eggs, leftover chicken, beans, or a small piece of fish, and use processed meats less often and in smaller amounts.
And if conversations like this help you, you can hit subscribe so you don't miss future senior food tips here on Senior Food 365. 3. Jumbo muffins, donuts, and breakfast pastries. Now we come to what I call the bakery trap. Jumbo muffins, donuts, and sweet pastries sold as breakfast. Many are the size of a small cake. They smell wonderful, and the sign might even say blueberry muffin, so it sounds healthy, but most of the calories come from sugar, white flour, and bad fats.
In simple words, this is dessert dressed up as breakfast. For seniors, that means a quick sugar spike, then a crash, plus extra pounds over time. If you already have joint pain, extra weight can make walking and climbing stairs harder. And if you're working hard to control blood sugar or triglycerides, this habit can quietly fight against your efforts.
I remember a woman named Linda in her early 60s who stopped at the same drive-thru every morning for a large flavored coffee and a blueberry muffin. She told me, "It's my treat. I don't eat much else." But when we added up the sugar and fat, it was more than a whole meal, without the protein, fiber, or vitamins. When she switched to a smaller whole grain muffin at home, plus a boiled egg and black coffee or coffee with a little milk, she felt less sleepy and noticed fewer sugar crashes.
So if you enjoy pastries, try to turn them into occasional treats, not daily fuel. Choose a smaller piece, have it after a more balanced breakfast, or share it with someone. And on regular mornings, think about oats, scrambled eggs with veggies, or plain yogurt with fruit as your base. Your taste buds adjust over time, and you may be surprised how sweet real berries or banana slices can taste once you cut down on baked sugar. 2. Sugary yogurts and fruit on the bottom cups. The next one is tricky because it looks healthy on the surface. Flavored yogurts and fruit on the bottom cups. Yogurt itself can be a great breakfast food, especially for seniors. It has protein and calcium. But many flavored yogurts have as much sugar as ice cream.
Research in older adults shows that higher added sugar intake is linked with more weight gain and higher risk of diabetes. Again, that doesn't mean you can never enjoy flavored yogurt. It does mean you should know what you're buying. Some small yogurt cups have 18-25 grams of sugar. That's like several teaspoons.
Here's the simple fix. Choose plain or unsweetened yogurt and sweeten it yourself. Add fresh fruit, a few raisins, or a drizzle of honey if you like. That way, you control how much sweetness goes in. Also, look for Greek or strained yogurt with more protein. Protein helps you stay full and may support your muscles as you age.
This is also where a little planning helps. You can make 2 or 3 small breakfast jars in the fridge. Plain Greek yogurt, some chia seeds, a few oats, and frozen berries. By the morning, the berries soften, and you have a quick, balanced breakfast ready.
And if you'd like a simple written checklist of breakfast swaps like this, cereals to pick, yogurts to choose, and better toppings, we've put a free one on our website, thevitatrack.com. You can print it and keep it near your kitchen, so you don't have to remember everything we're saying today. It's completely optional, just a tool if you like having things on paper.
1. The dessert plate. Breakfast, juice, pancakes, syrup, and sweet coffee together. Now let's talk about the most powerful one, the full dessert plate breakfast. This is when you mix many of the things we've already mentioned on the same morning. A glass of fruit juice, pancakes or waffles with syrup, plus a sweet coffee or hot chocolate. For seniors, that is a triple sugar stack to start the day.
In simple words, your body gets hit with sugar from every direction at once. Juice has no fiber. Syrup is pure sugar. White flour in pancakes breaks down quickly. Sweet coffee adds even more. For a person over 60, especially with heart, kidney, or blood sugar issues, that combo can be a real strain. You may feel great for 30 minutes and then crash hard.
One of my patients, John, in his late 60s, loved Sunday brunch like this. Over time, his doctor noticed his A1C, that long-term blood sugar marker, was creeping up. We didn't take away his brunch joy. We just redesigned it. Now he does whole grain pancakes, uses much less syrup, drinks water, or unsweetened tea instead of juice, and has eggs or cottage cheese on the side. He still enjoys the meal, but the sugar stack is much smaller.
In simple words, your body gets hit with sugar from every direction at once. Juice has no fiber. Syrup is pure sugar. White flour in pancakes breaks down quickly. Sweet coffee adds even more. For a person over 60, especially with heart, kidney, or blood sugar issues, that combo can be a real strain. You may feel great for 30 minutes and then crash hard. Keep the pancake portions smaller. Use whole grain or oatmeal pancakes. Add protein like eggs, yogurt, or nuts. Swap juice for a small piece of real fruit and water or tea. Sweeten coffee less, or use cinnamon for flavor. These little changes may lower the big sugar hit and help your energy and mood for the rest of the day.
If you're sitting there thinking, I do some of these things, please don't feel ashamed. Many seniors were never taught how breakfast affects blood sugar, blood pressure, and weight. The good news is you can adjust at any age. Small steps really do count in your 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Let's quickly recap what we covered today. We talked about sugary breakfast cereals that act more like candy. We looked at white toast and bagels with sweet spreads that give you quick energy and then a crash. We talked about coffee-only mornings, salty processed meats like bacon and sausage, jumbo muffins and pastries, sugary yogurts, and finally, the full dessert-style breakfast with juice, pancakes, syrup, and sweet coffee.
If this sounds like your kitchen, don't panic. You don't have to change all 7 things at once. Start with 1 or 2 that feel easiest. Maybe you switch your cereal to oats. Maybe you add some protein to your coffee routine. Maybe you save donuts and big pastries for special days and not for every day. Every small change is a gift to your heart, your blood sugar, and your energy.
Here are 2 simple actions you can try this week. First, add protein to every breakfast: eggs, yogurt, cottage cheese, nuts, or beans. That may help you feel fuller and steady your blood sugar. Second, cut your morning added sugar in half. Less juice, less syrup, less sugar in coffee. Your taste buds will adjust over time, and most people feel less sleepy mid-morning when they do this.
And remember, always loop in your own doctor, especially if you have diabetes, kidney disease, or heart problems. Ask them what a good breakfast looks like for your specific meds and conditions. If your blood sugar is often high in the morning, or you feel very dizzy, weak, or short of breath after breakfast, that's a sign you should talk to your doctor soon.
We hope this conversation helps you look at your breakfast plate with kinder, clearer eyes. You don't have to be perfect, but you do deserve a morning meal that supports your day instead of quietly working against you.
This conversation is for education only and is not personal medical advice. Always talk to your own doctor about your situation.